everyone, it's Shell from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 8 in the 2022 Countdown to Christmas series, and we're going to be making a card that also can double as a present made from envelopes. Yep, the thing that you normally mail your cards in, you can use to make a card. Oh, a friend of mine dropped off a bunch of envelopes at my house. I probably have a couple hundred in this bag sitting in my craft room, and I thought, let's figure out a way to use these to make a card. So I measured the width of the envelope, and then I cut down a square 1/8 of an inch smaller than the width of the envelope. Then I'm taking some Be Creative Honeybee glue and gluing on the back of the flap, not the flap that already has the glue. We're going to use the other side. We're going to glue it around all 4 sides of the square that we did. And then we're going to fold them all in, and I'll show you how this card is going to fold up. Now, you can fold it a couple of different ways. You can, fold up and then fold in from one of the sides. It all depends on how you want your card to open, but I decided to have the bottom fold up, the top fold over top of that, the right to fold in, and then the left is going to be the cover. But you can do whatever way you want. Oh, after I've glued all those down, there you go, I'm putting the pieces into place, and you're going to notice the last 2 pieces that you fold in, you're going to need to change the score mark because there is a little bit of dimension in there. The score mark is not going to be exactly where the score mark was from just the plain envelope. We're going to fix that in a little bit. You'll see what I decide to do here, but now I'm just kind of folding the card just to make sure everything works smoothly and opens and nothing catches. Oh, I'm taking a piece of red cardstock that measures the same as the back piece. And then I am attaching a green piece of cardstock to that because we're going to start assembling the card. This was probably the most difficult part for me, was trying to figure out what pattern papers go together. So in the vein of using up my supplies, I picked 3 pattern paper packs, one from AC Moore, one from Michaels, and one from Hobby Lobby, and used the papers in there. I also used some scraps where I could. I don't have a lot of scraps that were big enough for this, but I did use some scraps to cover some other things. So I'll show you that when I go through it. Oh, every time I put a new layer in, I do fold it just to make sure that I don't need to fix any of the creases. The more bulk you put in here, you may have to change the score lines a little bit on the front 2 flaps that fold over, but I didn't at any point. So now I'm just taking some pattern paper, and these 2 patterns are from the Hobby Lobby paper pack, and a lot of the sheets have the foil in them. And if I was thinking ahead, I probably should have cut the middles, taken die cuts and cut the middles out of these so that I didn't waste this paper because I love this so much. And I accidentally cut one of the papers wrong, so I only got 1 mat out of it instead of 2, but I actually used one of the scraps for the front piece. So it wasn't a total waste, but I was mad at myself that I messed up the cuts. I wasn't thinking about it. So we are decorating the fronts of these flaps. We're going to be decorating everything. Oh, one of the things that you can do is you can use any of these for gift card holders. So if you are, like one year we did for my parents, we did the 12 months of the year, and we got them a gift card to a different place every single month. So like a dinner, we got them to some, I think the movie theaters, we got them to grocery stores, and then I did an envelope for each one. This one would be a fantastic way to do something like that for somebody. If you had multiple gift cards that you wanted to do, if you wanted to send this out as your family Christmas card, you could add a picture and a letter because we're going to create some pockets. You can use the envelopes as actual pockets. If you don't glue down all 4 sides, if you put the glue on the envelope instead of putting the glue on the back of the pattern paper or the mat that you're using, and then you can use a punch to kind of make the little, like a little dip in there so that you can easily pull out a gift card or a picture or something like that. Here we're going to add a pocket to the piece of paper that we glue right on top of the envelope. So I'm gluing 3 sides to this. And again, this was a scrap piece of paper, and you've seen this pattern in a couple other of the projects that I did. So you'll notice I glued it on and then pinched the edges in, which I learned from Made It, which just gives a little bit more room in the middle. So it's really easy to stick a gift card down or decorate it. So we will decorate this in a little bit. It's a little bit shorter than the length or the width of the envelope, or I'm sorry, height of the envelope. So you'll see a little bit of white down there, but I didn't bring it down to the crease because if I did, it would have a hard time folding over. So I wanted to leave a little bit of a gap. And you'll notice here that I put the pocket at the bottom of both of those instead of moving it up. You can put it wherever you want. You can decorate that. There's so many different things you can do with this. There's a lot of space. You could even make this into a photo album, like a small photo album if you wanted to, but I wanted to use this envelopes to make a card. I'm going through that Hobby Lobby paper pack and picking out additional patterns, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So I was just going through all of them. The one was foiled, the one wasn't, and I wasn't sure if that's what I wanted to do, was use that. I liked that white foil dots. I really liked this red with the foil stars. So I decided that I was going to use that somewhere, but I wasn't sure where. So I'm just pulling out pattern papers that I really liked to try to figure out how I wanted to decorate the remaining parts of the envelopes. So I have the 2 interior pieces, and I thought this is what I was going to do with it, but I don't end up using these here. I actually use these 2 for the front pieces. And again, some of these were too busy. Some of them just one had foil and one didn't. I wasn't sure if I wanted that was the look I was going for. However, I did pick out a piece of scrap cardstock or pattern paper that you've seen me use in other cards. I think I just used it in the video before this. It's the one with the deer and the trees on the back of it. And what happened was I cut it out incorrectly. I cut it so the pattern was going the wrong way. So I had to do something else. So I picked out another scrap of paper and I was going to use that. So here you can see I'm going in and I'm just kind of just giving a little haircut to those pieces of the envelope that folded over. That way it doesn't stick up and catch on anything. It makes it look a little bit more finished. So I'm now counting how wide I need to make the mats for these papers. And then this one, the one that I'm gluing down onto the red mat now, this is a scrap of a pattern paper that I had just lying in my stash. And you'll see here, this is where if you didn't want to basically seal the envelope and not use it as a pocket, if you want to use it as a pocket, you could put the glue on the envelope and then just punch out like a little half circle or a scallop or something like that so that you could easily stick something in the envelope pocket. So look, I'm showing you there. So if you guys have not seen the intro video for this series, please go to the description box. The intro video will be linked there. There are giveaways that are associated with this, but there's a couple of different things, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows the rules for it. So everything is listed in the intro video. I hope that you guys are enjoying this series. I'm really enjoying putting it together for you guys. It's helping me get some of my Christmas cards done because honestly, it's been, every year I feel like it's tough to get them done. Okay, so back to the card real quick. So this is where I'm using that scrap paper and that I miscut, and I'm just going to slip it down in there just to give, because I thought that green was a little bit too plain, so I did it at the top and the bottom of that one. Then I'm folding it in and I have the last 2 sections to go. So I picked out the pattern paper, cut it down, and use that gold foil as a mat. And again, if I had to do this over again, I would have cut out the middles, but I didn't think of that until after it was already assembled. So back to what I was saying now. If you haven't checked out the intro video for this series, please do. all of the information for the giveaway is over there, as well as an introduction to the entire series. So if you haven't seen the video, please go over and check it out so that you know what's going on. I promise that I will get back to everybody. I have read everybody's comments. I just haven't had a chance to respond yet. So thank you guys so much for your very sweet comments. And if I asked a question during the video, you guys answered it down below. Love reading everything you guys have to say. So really, really appreciate that, and am looking forward to the rest of this series. Hopefully you guys are as well and you're enjoying this. If you have any suggestions on a type of card or a product that you think I might have that you want me to use, or some type of, like, are you looking for masculine cards, or are you looking for cards for kids, or easy to reproduce ones, let me know in the comment section and I will definitely work on a video for you guys. So this was just a cut apart that was in one of the cut apart pages. Use my trimmer to make it, to cut it down to size. And I'm using some foam tape on the back of it just to give it a little bit of dimension. I didn't want too much dimension on this card because it is a little bit thicker, because all of the folding envelopes, and now that we decorated them, they're a lot thicker, but just wanted something to kind of pop off of the top of it. You could, one of the things that I thought I was going to do was actually use ribbon to tie it, but I decided against that. The last thing that I do as far as decorating is I take some buttons from Sassy and Crafty and glue those onto all of the corners. Just thought I added a little bit of something to this. So like I said, this is really great for a card. It could be for your Christmas card letter, pictures, anything that you do like that. You could use this for a mini album. You could use it for gift cards if you're giving this as a gift to somebody and you're giving multiple gift cards instead of giving them maybe multiple gift card holders or just throwing them into a card. You could do this and put a gift card in each pocket. So lots of different ideas with this card, but hopefully this gives you an idea of something to do that's a little bit different. Rather than using a card base, you can use envelopes. The last thing that I wanted to do was to use some pattern paper to cover the back. The green is perfectly fine. You don't have to do this. I just thought since everything else was matted and then decorated, I would add something to the mat that's on the back of it. So I cut it 1/8 of an inch smaller than that green square. And my card is done. So thank you guys so much for watching. Here are some pictures of the cards up close. I tried to get a picture of each and every stage of the card being unfolded. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below, and I will see you again real soon for another video. Bye!